I'm live. What's up? My brightness is like way low. Yeah, that's a little bit better on my camera. What's up? So, D23. Are we all dying? Because I'm dying. I'm dying right now. I'm currently dead. I do want to start off quickly by saying that I am sick. So if I sound sick, it's because I am sick. I'm very tired. But I'm really, really excited to talk about everything that we got with D23 today. I have all the Star Wars, like always. um, so I actually took notes for this. I tried, and the notes quickly just dissolved because we got so much Star Wars today, guys. I can't even process everything that we got today. So much, Alex. We got so much stuff today. Um, haven't Darth Hamilton, haven't seen anything about Frozen 2 at D23, but that first made Frozen 2 look better than the first. I actually did see a little bit about Frozen 2, so they added a couple new folks to the cast. We're going to be getting a voice for Anna and Elsa's mom, which I did see a little bit of discourse about whether or not that meant that she was still alive, and I'm pretty sure it's just going to be like flashback type of things. But they didn't really talk a whole lot about Frozen 2. We did get a new poster, which is absolutely gorgeous. If you haven't seen the new poster for it, it's really, really beautiful. I like all of the posters that we got today. It was really, really awesome. So I really think that obviously the big thing that we got today was all of the Star Wars. We got the behind the scenes panel this morning, and they started off talking about Star Wars, which was something that I don't think any of us expected them to do. We got a teaser slash trailer slash sizzle reel. Like, that was just absolutely insane. And there's all this dark ray stuff going around. We didn't get to see any of this footage. We're going to be getting it on Monday. I don't know how they expect us to wait for that, but like, there's so much to talk about with episode 9. Everything that Kathleen Kennedy and J.J. Abrams and Daisy Ridley has said today. I am more hyped for this movie than I have ever been, which says so much because I've been hyped for this movie for about 2 years. And the poster that we got for that is gorgeous. It's my phone background, like my lock screen and my home screen. Reylo won. Reylo is canon. Palpatine pulling the strings. I can't get over it. We have a lot of people asking about Zootopia 2 or Moana. I didn't see anything about Zootopia or Moana. I saw that they announced a lot about Pixar's Soul and Onward. Nothing really new that we didn't already know with both of those, although I do think Soul looks really awesome because it's going to kind of focus on a band teacher who really wants to like get into jazz music, and it's going to have a lot to do like with your inner soul, and it's going to be kind of like an urban fantasy. So that looks really awesome. I'm very, very excited about that. Yeah, and then as Ernesto's saying, he's looking forward to Raya and the Last Dragon. It looks super awesome. That's going to be their newest Disney princess movie. It is all about Southeastern Asian culture, and I am really excited for that. Although somebody tagged it as Disney's first Asian princess, and I'm like, well, we do have Mulan, so let's not forget about her. Yeah, we got a couple of little Onward things. They unveiled a new poster. It's very I don't know, it's like a picture of a jean jacket with like lots of patches and lots of pins on it. I think that movie is going to be really cute. Tom Holland came out, Chris Pratt came out. I'm very, very excited for that movie. And I'm mostly just excited that like they talked a lot about new animation. Like they talked about, 2 new Pixar movies and that Raya and the Lost Dragon. Like those are all originals, and so like we got a little bit of Frozen too, but they didn't really talk sequels from what I saw, which I think is really exciting because I think everybody's getting a little bit burned out on all of the sequels. Nothing Big Hero 6, nothing that I saw. Yeah, Alex is saying the Onward poster was very Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. I definitely agree with that. Yeah, Pixar has got a lot of amazing things coming up, and the animation on those, they did show a couple of little stills, look really, really good, so I'm very excited. When it comes to when it comes to the Marvel stuff, I feel like they didn't really share anything new. Most of the big Marvel things I think came yesterday with Disney Plus, and I do think they unveiled a lot of it at San Diego Comic-Con. I think the only like big things were they unveiled the characters for Gemma Chan and for Kit Harington in Eternals. I also saw somewhere that he was going to be in Thor: Love and Thunder, but I'm not sure if somebody got their wires crossed there. They showed a little bit of footage for Black Widow, but that was again just stuff that they showed at San Diego Comic-Con. So really, like the biggest thing today was all that Star Wars stuff, which is just absolutely amazing. Looking at Disney going down the drain. I don't know if Disney's quite going down the drain. They've turned into quite the monopoly juggernaut, I would definitely say. Oh, Lore Olympus has been updated. That's exciting. We do have a comment about Spider-Man. Yeah, so it actually was confirmed today that Spider-Man is no longer going to be part of the MCU, and I don't really know how that's gonna go. But Tom Holland is still going to be playing Spider-Man, so that's really what I care about. I can tell that everybody is a little bit frustrated and a little bit disappointed by this because where that story was going was really big and really meaningful, and I just really can't see them, like, unless they completely start over or unless they find some way to kind of fit the story in. I don't see how they can keep going, and that's just really disappointing, and that is very frustrating. I wish that they could figure out a way around that, but what it comes down to is, and everybody's saying to boycott Sony, and that's not really the problem here. The problem here is that Disney can kind of push its weight around. Sony's one of the last independent companies that Disney doesn't own, so if Sony doesn't, want to give them all the money, that's kind of, totally fine with that. So I hope that they can keep on negotiating. I was kind of hoping that they could figure something out. It doesn't look like that's going to happen. But Tom Holland is still part of Disney. He's still going to be in Onward. I'm hoping that eventually he's going to get to be in some Star Wars stuff. So that would just be really, really awesome. Yeah, everybody's very frustrated on the news. Yeah, animation-wise, the Disney cartoon look, yeah, it is getting very realistic, but I think animation-wise, looks gorgeous. Like, everything they showed looks amazing. Like, the technology has come so far. The stills for Onward and the stills for Soul just looked so, so gorgeous, and we've seen stuff for Frozen too. Like, that's gonna be a beautiful movie. Reading in 2645 live action Chicken Little, maybe. Super hyped about the original movies coming out. Oh yes, Alex and I were really hoping that they would announce a live action Atlantis. That hasn't happened yet. There is still hope. You never know. That could still happen. Oh, this is awesome. So Ernesto says that Soul is also Pixar's first film with a black lead. That is really awesome. I'm really excited about that. Well, no, that's not true. I was gonna say it's also the first one where it's not a kid, and that's not necessarily true. But that is really exciting, and I like that it's gonna have this. It looks like it's going to be a really unique movie just from everything that I've seen about it. So I'm very, very excited for that. Oh, one thing that we did get about Marvel that we hadn't heard yet is that we did get a date for Black Panther 2. That's going to be May 6th, 2022. So we still have a little ways to go for that, but I'm really excited for Black Panther 2. I think other than like Spider-Man and Captain Marvel, Black Panther is what I'm most excited about with Marvel. So I think that's going to be really awesome. And I'm glad that they were able to finally like put some dates on stuff because we were really, really needing that. Details in Frozen 2 are gorgeous. Such wonderful animation. Yes, Brittany, it's going to be so beautiful. We also got confirmation that Star Wars The Clone Wars, maybe this was yesterday, was going to be coming out in February of 2020. That was yesterday. That was Disney Plus stuff. But I love when we get confirmation for a lot of these things. But I do want to talk about the things that we've been getting with Star Wars because we haven't seen the footage of it unless you were there, and we're going to be getting that footage on Monday, but I have seen descriptions of it. So they showed kind of a compilation from all of the films, and they had that overlay from the teaser where it was saying, you know, like every story has a legend, blah blah blah. And then we get into stuff from episode 9, and there are shots of Jenna and Finn on the Falcon. There are shots of all of these Star Destroyers just dominating like black space. We have Rey tossing her saber into a forest and it like coming back to her like Thor's hammer. We have like obviously the iconic shot that everybody's talking about with Rey in like this dark black outfit with a double-bladed red lightsaber. Like, I don't even know where to begin with all of that kind of stuff except to say it's Bastila and Revan, guys. It's Bastila and Revan. Like, I can't believe they're doing Bastila and Revan and they're going to be so obvious about it. It's blowing my mind and I can't even process it, guys. I can't process it. It's amazing. I'm so excited to be able to see all of that footage and just like I want to dress up as Darkrai so bad. So bad. I think it's going to be kind of like a Vision type of thing. I don't really think she's going to be like dark set. I don't know how to explain what I think of it, but I'm really really excited and I'd love to know what you guys had to think about that as well. Gotta scroll back up a little bit. So Jesse said, isn't the dragon in one of the animated movies colored in the same colors as the trans flag? It is actually. It's light pink, blue, and white, and it's narrated by Aquafina, which is really interesting. So I'm really excited for that movie. I think it's going to be really good. And I had the actress who's going to play Rhea, but I don't know if I still have it. Cassie Steele. I don't know if I know who that is, but she's going to voice Rhea, and then Aquafina will voice Sizu, who's the dragon. And I'm so excited for that. I'm really really excited for a new Disney princess because I love Moana. She's great, but I'm really really excited for a new Disney princess, especially a Southeast Asian Disney princess. They said that they're gonna pull. They've been pulling a lot of inspiration from like Vietnam and Laos, like that whole section down in there. So that's going to be absolutely beautiful. I'm really, really excited for that. Brittany's absolutely right. Clone Wars could not come soon enough. Darth Hamilton said, is the new Clone Wars exclusively going to be on Plus? Yes. So the new season is just going to be on Disney Plus. Basically, if you haven't sacrificed your goat to the Disney gods for Disney Plus, you might want to get on that because they have such a great slate of things coming up. And if you want to know more about that, if you didn't watch our live show yesterday with Angie, she talked about all of the Disney Plus stuff. So definitely go and check that out. Ernesto, the dragon, Sizu reminds me of Heiku from Spirited Away. I saw a lot of that today, actually, where people were kind of commenting on that. I think that's going to be really awesome. I'm really excited for that. And I also saw that the dragon is like a water spirit and she's going to take the form of an old woman. So that'll be really interesting. I hope it's kind of has like that Ghibli film to it, or just Ghibli feel to it. I think that's going to be really, really awesome. Let's see. Brittany said, plus Dave Filoni's reaction when he was asked about Ahsoka being introduced into a live action format. Yes, that was amazing. He just, something's going to happen. Something's going to happen. I want more than anything a Sabine and Ahsoka story where they go and look for Ezra. That's what I want so bad. I know a lot of people want the Thrawn and Ezra side of things, which I think would be cool, but I'm more interested in Sabine and Ahsoka just because they come from such different places. Like, you know, Ahsoka was raised as a Jedi and, you know, she died and she was brought back through the world between worlds. And there's a lot of Force stuff going on with her. Whereas like Sabine was like a warrior and a soldier and she did wield the dark saber and she was, you know, friends with Jedi, but they come from such different starting points. So I'm really excited to see how that works together. And obviously, you know, we need more female friendships in Star Wars. And I think a show and a storyline focusing solely on female friendships would just be so amazing. But that's not any news that we got today. That's just me ranting. Jesse says, Rey possessed by Sheev. I definitely think that's going to happen. I have seen leaks. I'm not going to talk about these leaks just because I don't want anybody to be unnecessarily spoiled, but I do think that we're going to see Palpatine body hopping, and I definitely think there's going to be a big culminating moment with how we're going to kill Palpatine that has to do with the body hopping. And the fact that he might possess Rey and make her kind of go dark side is really interesting. I kind of think that it's going to be, I've heard rumors about like this Force Flash fight where they're going to see images from the past and things like that, or visions. So I kind of think that this could be part of that, in that maybe this was a future that might happen, or this was a future that could have happened had things turned out differently. I read a fan fiction actually where Kylo and Rey touch hands again, and it shows all of that. It shows like all of these like, oh, you could have met this way, or you could have met that way, or it could have happened like this. Like it was always meant to happen regardless of where they were at, which was really interesting. And just seeing this kind of like Sith Rey type of like look and hearing what they're saying, that feels like that to me. I also want to say, if anybody have read any fics by Diasterisms at Kylo Ren Vivo on Twitter, every single one of her fics is being proved right. She's amazing. I don't know how she does it, but she's predicted like literally everything that has happened. So if you want to know anything about Star Wars, you need to start reading some of that, because it's just absolutely outstanding. Oh, thank you. Infotex loves my background setup. I got some more trading cards. I like to put them up on the wall because I don't know what else to do with them, so I put them there. I also got a new pot figure. That one. That one. It's MJ from Spider-Man, which we're all sad about. Let's see. Pika Mickey Chu went to the Disney store today. What did you get? I'm excited. I've seen a couple of images about what's in the Disney stores. I'd really love to know what you got. Let's see. Peter said that they're excited for Raya and the Last Dragon. Yeah, looks super, super awesome. Darth Hamilton, how long is D23 again? Tomorrow is the last day. It's just a 3-day convention, so tomorrow will be all of the park stuff. So that'll be all Josh, and we actually figured that out perfectly. We didn't plan it this way. But we'll be getting all that parks news and stuff tomorrow. It'll be kind of wrapping up and that kind of thing. Let's see. Brittany said, I think Ezra and Thrawn's story is inevitable. Whether it's told through animation, live action, or comics is the real question. I've seen a lot of, and this is kind of comes from, so, you know, we have a new podcast, Lipstick and Lightsabers, which I run with Alex Leonis, who's super awesome. Everybody needs to go support Alex Leonis. She does all of the beautiful art for it. We featured a review of Thrawn Treason from our good friend Hope. She is really into Thrawn. She's really into the Thrawn fandom, and so it's been really interesting seeing like that side of things. And a lot of people do want Thrawn Ezra story written by Timothy Zahn. I'm not one of those people because I do not like Timothy Zahn's writing at all. I don't really like Alexander Freed's writing either. They're just some of those Star Wars authors that just don't really resonate with me. So, like, I'm interested in Ezra and Thrawn because it's the same as Ahsoka and Sabine. You know, they come from very different places, but it just kind of depends on the context for me. Thrawn's not really like my favorite type of character. Ernesto said, so many chills on the description for the attendees that witnessed the footage of the Rise of Skywalker. Yeah, everybody's freaking out. We had a lot of friends who were there, and everybody is just like completely losing it over what they saw for the Rise of Skywalker. Nobody expected that at all. And the fact that they opened the freaking show showing this footage, like, that's insane to me. I know Sky Talkers, both Charlotte and Caitlin were there, and they just released their like immediate reaction to everything that they saw today on their podcast feed. I haven't gotten to listen to it yet. I'll probably listen to it tomorrow morning. I definitely recommend that because everything that they've covered so far for D23 has been amazing. This is their first time at D23 too, so which is totally awesome. So if you haven't listened to that, or if you haven't listened to Sky Talkers at all, highly recommend that because they are absolutely amazing and they know so much about so many things. Jesse said, I want to see if they'll touch up on the mother of Mortis when they pick up Ahsoka and Sabine trying to find Ezra and Thrawn. I 100% think that's going to happen. 100%. I think the Mortis Owl ties very much into that. I totally agree with you. Let's see. Darth Hamilton said, I would much rather have the Ezra and Thrawn story to be a comic. Something about the Star Wars stories being told through comics makes it so much better. I do like the comics. I've gotten more into them as time has gone on. I like this Age of Resistance line that they've got going right now. I think that it's more accessible to more people if it's animation, just because more people, it'll have more eyes on it. Just like how like I like the books and some people like the comics, but like more people check out the animation. So if it's going to be like a big story, I kind of hope that that's what they do, because I think that that'd be a really good way to explore it, although that might be too much to ask for. So something like the comics is probably more likely, is what I would say. Let's see. Hello, Angie. Angie is here. I'm sorry that I wasn't there yesterday because I fell asleep and I had a fever. I didn't realize that I fell asleep so early. It was like 8:30. Oh my god. Brittany said, "Did you ever read the Thrawn comic?" That's a question for Darth Hamilton. I would love to know that, actually. I still haven't gotten to read Thrawn Treason yet, so I'm still trying to catch up on that. But yeah, like it's just so crazy today, all of the stuff that we got. And I the stuff that like Kathleen Kennedy and J.J. Abrams and Daisy Ridley said too, like they were interviewed by Ginger Z from Good Morning America. And the thing about that is that Good Morning America, you know, they're part of ABC, they're owned by Disney. So this is the stuff that Disney chose to promote and to tweet about. And it was describe your, you know, the relationship between Kylo and Rey in one word. And we got desperate, connected, and very, very complicated. And I'm not okay. Those are some really great AO3 tags. Oh, focus on the camera. So yeah, I'm excited for people to start writing some fan fiction off of those choice words. You know, it's gonna be absolutely amazing. Lots of talks about the Afro comic. I haven't read the Afro comic either, but I know Alex has, and it's really amazing. I really love what Star Wars is doing with their storytelling right now. And something that wasn't news from today, but that timeline that they gave us for Star Wars yesterday, they're getting ready to start filling in that big gap, that big, huge gap between the Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens. Like, obviously, we're going to get Mandalorian in there, and we do have the Aftermath series, and we do have Bloodline, and a little bit of Resistance, and then a little bit of Last Shots. Had to check the title for a second. So we do know like bits and pieces of things, but we don't have anything like super tangible to go on yet. And that's entirely because we can't know too much about what was going on with like Luke and Ben and like all of that going down. We can't know too much about where Palpatine has been, but we have gotten hints. Like you can find those in the Aftermath series. You can find those in the comics, like in the Afro comics, in the Darth Vader comics. There are hints to a lot of things going on, and that's what's so cool to me, is that it's so clear the story they're telling, and it's so clear how connected everything is. And I love that it spans all of the media. And I do like that if you want all of the info and you want to connect all of the dots, it is all there for you. But like, you know, I'm not a huge comic reader, so I don't necessarily get all of the comics, or like I haven't played Vader Immortal or any of that kind of stuff. But there are little things in there that you can still pull out, and it's kind of there for you to discover if you want to discover it. And that was something that I used to struggle with books, when they would have like a million novellas and it's like, oh, you have to read these. But with Star Wars, it's kind of like, it's there if you want it. It's there if you want like a bigger picture, but it's still going to make sense to you in the end anyway, which I really, really love. It's what makes it so dynamic and such a fun fandom to get into. And all of the announcements and stuff that we've gotten is just outstanding. Like, I am so excited. Like the trilogy and like the saga is ending, but honestly it feels like we're just getting started. And like we have Project Luminous coming out next year as well. Nobody knows what the heck that is, but it's going to be so cool. I am so excited for the future of Star Wars. We've got so much coming up, and it's going to be just so freaking amazing. Let's see what's going on. Oh yeah, Jesse said Mandalorian and Rise of Kylo Ren. Rise of Kylo Ren is going to be So, oh my god. It was said that Rise of Kylo Ren is coming out issue by issue. They're not going to release the whole thing, so we're only going to have issue 1 before the Rise of Skywalker comes out, which obviously means spoilers, which I'm excited. And the Mandalorian looks super great. I wasn't super like blown away by the trailer that they gave us yesterday, but that's because I was at the Mandalorian panel at Celebration and we got a ton of stuff at that panel. So like it kind of felt like, oh yeah, I've already seen that. Mostly I've just been excited about like speculating what the Mandalorian could have in store. The cinematography on that looks absolutely breathtaking though. Let's see. More Thrawn talk. Seeing IG-88 in the Mandalorian trailer was exciting. Yeah, it was super, super exciting. I love the droids. It's gonna be so much fun. Did you hear about the TIE Fighter number 4 having one of the pilot's grandmas waxing lyrically about Sheev not having a wife or a biological heir? No, I didn't. What? No, I didn't hear about that. I don't know what that means. Okay. I mean, you know, Papa Palps not having any kind of family is interesting. Although I have seen lots of Rey Palpatine theories. It's honestly, the Rey parents discourse is at this point hilarious to me. And anything that we get from it, I'm just like, wow, okay, this is where we're going now. That's the main thing I'm really looking forward to now is that we're kicking off like press and stuff for the Rise of Skywalker. So like as we get closer to October, we're really gonna be starting to get into it because Force Friday is like the first, yeah, it's like the first Friday in October. So we're going to be getting, you know, merchandise and toys, and we're going to get a really good look at like some set pieces and stuff. Some of the Lego sets have actually already leaked, which is very interesting. Oh, that reminds me, Zori and Poe. Interesting. So they have passed, and they're actually seeming to do a lot of stuff now with Oscar Isaac and Kerry Russell, which I don't really think anybody anticipated. A lot of people, so we knew that Zori Bliss was a bounty hunter. And I know I was of the camp that she was going to be employed by the First Order, which she totally still could be. But I think it's kind of interesting that she has some kind of history with Poe and that she's connected to him in some way. So I'm excited to see where that's going to go and how exactly she's going to fit into the story. What I don't like is that it was said today that her introduction is kind of a way to explore Poe's character, which I don't really like. I hope that she's a character that can stand on her own 2 feet without Poe, which it worries me a little bit. It also makes me worried about Jenna a little bit because it seems like she's going to be spending a lot of screen time with Finn, which is fine and which is great. But I hope that she still feels like a character that can like stand on her own. That was a worry like with Rose too, but it seems like, I don't know, we didn't really get any information about Rose, which makes me a little bit worried. We're getting a lot of Kelly Marie Tran, but we're not really talking about Rose. And I, for one, would be really upset if, you know, this movie comes and she's in like 2 minutes of the movie. So I don't really know where exactly that is going. But I am excited about these new female characters. I think they're going to be really cool. And like, I'm excited to talk about them on Lipstick and Lightsabers. We've been doing, you know, in-depth character analysis for a lot of the female characters. And Jana in particular is somebody who really, really interests me. And I'm really excited about Naomi Ackie because she seems like a really great addition to the team. So when we start doing press for The Rise of Skywalker, I think they're going to be really fun additions, like her and Kerry Russell. It's going to be really cool to see how they play off with like the rest of the cast. Will Adam Driver do any press? Probably not, because he doesn't know what Wi-Fi is, but you know, that's totally okay. Let's see. Oh yeah, IG-11. Yeah, not IG-88. Yeah, that's true. So Jesse brought up that people thought that Zori was going to be Luke's Mara Jade. So there was a lot of stuff coming out when they were casting Carrie Russell and stuff, that her character could be like a Mara Jade type of character. She's somebody from the expanded universe, and they went in a completely different direction, which, to be perfectly honest, I am really happy about, because I like Mara Jade, but I would like to see her come in a different way. I think that they could bring back that character and do that story arc in like maybe Rian Johnson's trilogy or something like that. I think trying to fit her into this current timeline where Luke Skywalker needs to be playing some other type of role, or trying to figure out how she would fit in another way, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Her being a bounty hunter, I don't really know how that fits in either, but it's not quite like this big, huge character that has like a lot of connections and a lot of ties. Like, that's a lot to introduce for like the last movie of a saga. Whereas if you're jumping in with like a new trilogy, then you could kind of get into it a little bit. So that's kind of what I think about it. That's another reason why, like, whenever they talk about like, oh, you know, it's going to be all about like Luke, or it's going to bring in this from Legends or whatever, it's like, you kind of have to think about like the general audience and what they've been building towards anyway. So like all of this crazy weird Force stuff, and even like stuff in like World Between Worlds, like you can still put that in because it's part of the new canon, and you can do it in a way that will be like acceptable and like easy to digest. Whereas throwing in Mara Jade, I just feel like there's too many strings there. I don't know how to explain how it's different, but it feels a little bit different to me. Jesse said Finn has something with Janna, and Poe has a past with Zori that leaves Rey might having something to do with Pyre or Sheev or Kylo Ren. I mean, no, they are on the cover of the poster together. I mean, obviously, her storyline is going to be entirely with Kylo and Palpatine. I mean, we know that they're going on this big resistance kind of adventure, but her part is about the Force, and the other characters where it's about the Force would be Palpatine and Kylo Ren. I have seen it said, and I've also think from the Vanity Fair covers, that Pyre is going to come into play with the Sith Troopers and with General Hux. That's, again, I've seen things that I don't know if I should talk about. And I mean, Alex and I have speculated about this on Lipstick and Lightsabers as well. So if you want to hear anything about that, we have talked about it on there. We'll probably talk about it some more once we get around to another discussion episode as well. So that's kind of where I think it's going. Right, yeah, with the new and returning characters. I mean, you know, she's going to have something going on with Palpatine. Like, that's where that is going to lie. Obviously. You know who else they haven't talked about? They haven't talked about Dominic Morgahan? I don't know what his last name is. The guy from the Lord of the Rings that they were like, oh yeah, he joined the cast and he's going to be part of the Resistance. We haven't seen anything from him. So I don't know where he's going to fit into it. Probably somewhere with Janna and Finn's storyline is what I would say. Or maybe like with Rose's storyline. I've heard that she's going to be with Connix and Leia quite a bit, which means that she probably won't get a whole lot of screen time, but that's totally fine. It's kind of whatever. They're also still pretending like Matt Smith isn't in this movie. So, again, I've heard things about Matt Smith, so I'm interested to see how that's going to play out. They didn't talk at all about the Knights of Ren today, which I think is really interesting, because we know that the Knights of Ren are going to play a really huge role, and we do have those Rise of Kylo Ren comics featuring the Knights of Ren, so that's going to be very, very fascinating. I'm really excited to see all of these threads come together, and I'm really excited to see how everything is going to turn out. Alex said basically Alex is boo-boo at bingo. We're both boo-boo at bingo. It's okay. You know, Claude or random Sith Trooper, I'm guessing. They didn't talk about Claude today. I was so sure that they were going to talk a lot about Claude and talk about how, you know, practical effects and all this kind of stuff. Man, Claude. Does anybody remember way back when there was a leaked poster for episode 9 and it was so dumb and everybody's like, this can't be real, because it had red stormtroopers and this weird freaky alien on it, and then it was all true. So I don't know where this poster is or where it came from or if we'll ever see it again, but Claude is real. Claude is happening. Claude Watch 2019. They did talk about Dio more than Claude. So they described Dio as like a rescue. So like he's found by BB-8 and kind of takes him in, and that is the cutest thing. This droid is so little, and he's like a duck. And for some reason, I am now obsessed with this droid, and I want Dio everywhere, and I want him on everything. And I'm sorry, I love BB-8. I really do. But Dio, I want to know what sounds he makes. I'm ready to scan. Like, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be absolutely amazing. I do want to touch on, so Alex and I, for Lipstick and Lightsabers, we did make a bingo card about things that they were going to announce, and we were completely like boo-boo the fool. They didn't really talk about a whole lot of the stuff that we put on that bingo card, which is fine. And I think a lot of the stuff that we put on there, they kind of did, but they also kind of didn't. Like, we did talk about how they were going to keep saying that the end of the story was satisfying, or I would describe it as satisfying, but finally they came up with 3 new words, and that was devastated, complicated, and connected. And I'm totally fine with that. Totally fine with that. It's just going to be absolutely great. Oh yeah, BD1 from Fallen Order. I'm also excited about Fallen Order. They haven't seen anything about that in a while, not since Celebration. But I'm very interested in where that game could be going. I'm kind of on the fence just because like Battlefront didn't live up to my hopes story-wise, but I do know that Fallen Order is going to be more of a story campaign, so there should be a little bit more, story in there. And if anything, the tie-in novel for it could be really good, because I know that Inferno Squad was amazing. It's one of my favorite Star Wars books. And Jay Shear from the Story Geeks asked if I could do a top 10 on my favorite Star Wars books. So if you guys are interested in all of that, I would love to make that video, because Star Wars books are amazing. And we're going to be getting Black Spire on Tuesday. I'm really excited for Black Spire. That's going to be really, really good. I'm very excited. They did not announce a tie-in novel, but all of the other video games have gotten a tie-in novel, so I am assuming, and you know what happens when you assume things, that we'll be getting a tie-in novel for it. Will it be good? I don't know, because Battlefront 1 was not good, but Battlefront 2 was very good. So that's just what I would assume anyway, just because it seems like that's a thing that happens a lot with video games. Yeah, we didn't get anything at all from Gamescom about that, and I feel like that's just not quite ready yet. Like, we'll know more when they're ready for us to know more, obviously. Maybe this just wasn't the format that they wanted to bring it in. Although, last year at D23, they had a gaming panel. I don't think they're having one this year, because I went to it, and that's when they talked a lot about Battlefront 2. And they talked about a new Spider-Man game, and they talked about Kingdom Hearts. And so it's kind of weird that they didn't do one this year, since they had Fallen Order coming out. And the next episode of Vader Immortal too, which they did talk about a little bit, because Sky Talkers had an interview about it. But that's kind of interesting that they didn't really go for it like that. Let's see. Oh, Gina's here. What's up, Gina? Yes, top 10 Star Wars. I can do it. I definitely can. Yeah, tie-in comic has been announced. I hope that they do a novel, though. I really hope they do, because the novels have been very, very interesting. Disney Plus replaced the games panel. That's interesting. Which I guess makes sense. God, that Disney Plus panel, that was so much content. That was so much content. I can't function right now. Between my illness and all of this information that we got this morning, I'm completely drained, and it is way past my bedtime. So I'm sorry. But, it's okay. I don't know about She-Hulk, man. I don't know about She-Hulk. I think that's going to wrap it up, though, on everything that came out today, at least as far as I saw and that I wanted to talk about, unless I took notes on something that I didn't mention, but I'm pretty sure that I did. If you have anything else, though, please let me know before I go, because I can answer some questions, or if anybody has anything burning that they want to bring up, but I'm going to look this up really, really quickly. Poster, Poe and Zori, Dark Ray, Black Panther, Kit Harington, yep, nope, I got everything that I put on here. Let's see. Darth Hamilton said, I was so stressed about having to wait while people in the States were able to watch The Mandalorian, but when I found out the launch dates were the same for the States and Canada, I got so hyped. Yes! Oh my gosh, I was going to be so upset if they didn't have, the same launch date for the United States and Canada, because to me that's just so freaking stupid. I do hope that people overseas are able to still get Disney Plus at a reasonable, time frame, because I have a lot of friends overseas and a lot of mutuals in Europe that I hope can still be able to have access to The Mandalorian. I think it's going to be releasing episodically, and if that's the case, then at least, it won't be like everybody's already binged it or anything like that. But it's just kind of a bummer because everybody wants to, freak out together, because that's how fandom works and that kind of thing. Gina said, do you think Disney Plus is going to crash with everyone signing up, or will it be like signing up in waves? I do think it's going to crash. 100%. It's totally going to crash. And I really hope they're prepared for it, but I also know that they're totally not, just because of how, how everything with Celebration went and how everything with D23 went, with them queuing and, trying to get in for lines and stuff. Something is, for some reason, Disney cannot get it together when it comes to signing up for stuff online. So I am very worried about that, but I guess we'll find out. Did they announce when we can start signing up for that? I know people at the con got to sign up, but I don't know when we'll get more of it. That didn't make any sense. That's okay. They announced a few international dates, and I believe it's January, February 2020. Yeah. The Netherlands is the same as the States and Canada, I believe. And then I want to say Australia is the week after, is what I saw. Man, 2020 is just such a long time to wait for that. Yes, Alex said that she's excited for us to cover The Mandalorian in the new year on the podcast. I am too. I think it's going to be really cool. I'm really hoping for some big things. My expectations are very high with The Mandalorian, which can be very bad. But I am really, really excited. I think it's going to be a really, really awesome show. Yeah, Australia gets it a week late, so I did remember that. But I am dying. I need to go lay down. 2020 really isn't that far. You're absolutely correct. I don't know how to live in a post Rise of Skywalker world, though, so that all just seems very far to me. But my nose is trying to kill me right now. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off. All of the news from D23 was absolutely amazing. I would love to still hear what you guys are excited about going into just all of this craziness. We are on the edge of just a content explosion. It's already exploding, and I cannot freaking believe it. But I hope you guys are excited for tomorrow, because it is the final day of D23. Josh will be back here at the same time doing a live stream for all of the information that we're going to get tomorrow. There's going to be a lot of park stuff. It's going to be really, really exciting. So I hope you guys will all check that out. But thank you so much for tuning into the stream, and I will see you guys next time. I guess I'll be doing a top 10 Star Wars books in the near future, because it's going to be pretty awesome. So I will now sign off somehow. End the stream. Goodbye. Yes, end it. Cut it off.